Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the players that I think deserve the biggest upgrades going into FC25. These players at the start of FC24 had insanely low ratings for what was about to happen. Some of these players, I'm not joking, they're going up by potentially 15 ratings. So let's get straight into the first player. We have Joarez. This guy has absolutely blown up over in Portugal. He looked great before. He looks world class now, and he was 75 rated. How? He is easily going to get 82, 83, 84 rated. I'm not sure which number it's going to be, but that's another thing I would love you guys to do in this video. If you want to, put down every player in this video, just write each name, and then the rating you would give them. I'm fascinated to know. I refuse to give my ultimate opinion all the time because I get roasted for it. But for me, Joarez should be in the low 80s to mid 80s. I'm not going to say he should be 87, 88 rated, something like that. And of course, if he does get a big move to a Premier League club or a Bundesliga club or Italian club or whatever, sorry, Portugal, but that will obviously test him a little bit more. Moving on, we have a fantastic young player who was loaned out and absolutely killed it. Juventus-owned player Sule. I'm not sure. He's Argentinian. He went out on loan and blew up. What a player. He had a fantastic season, and it wouldn't surprise me if we're going to see him be 78, 79 rated, something like that. And trust me, in the space of 1 year, that is very impressive. It's not even a year. It's 9 months, isn't it? In the space of one season. And I've heard a lot of clubs are looking to bring him to their club permanently instead of a loan. I don't know if Juventus would be willing to sell after such a good season. Let's move over to the Spanish league now. There were obviously a few outstanding performers for Girona. One of them being Dovbyk. How? 70 rated going into FC24, and he has taken the world by storm. Incredible season, and one of the reasons Girona were able to qualify for the Champions League. And by the way, are they actually going to play in the Champions League? Because there's a rule, isn't there, that you can't have two clubs from the same owner in the competition. Man City, obviously, City Group, and they own Girona. So that's one to look out for. But Dovbyk, he's going to be in the high 70s, low 80s for sure. My guess is he will get something like an 80 rating going into the new game. Back to the Premier League now, and we have one of the best young players, Miley. Lewis Miley. Is it Lewis Miley? My mind's just gone blank, but I think it's Lewis. Jeez, this guy, or this kid, unbelievable. Not only is he obviously very talented, but the physicality he's got at that age as well, it's quite frightening. And I've seen a couple of interviews with not just professional players that are playing with him at Newcastle, but also his old teammates at under 15s, under 14s, and they all said that he was just always the best player by an absolute mile. He just ran games by himself, and you can see why Newcastle threw him into the team. He was very unlucky towards the end of the season, but I think we're going to see a lot more of him next year. From 63 rated to at least kind of 75, something like that. Wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think it'll be much higher than that. Back to Girona now, but of course, Savio, or Savinho, I believe, he's going to be at City next season. Interesting. City own, or City Group own Man City and Girona, and they're transferring players. Anyway, they've paid quite a substantial fee for him, but not enough, in my opinion. He has been one of the standout players over in Spain, and he's going to tear the Premier League apart if he can get minutes at Man City. But he is easily going to be in the high 70s, low 80s going into the new game. Back to the Premier League again, and we have Quanza. I don't think he should be, 77, 78 rated or anything like that, but for sure, from 62, he's going to be in the low 70s, mid 70s. Personally, I think 74 make him a rare silver. He'll be one of the best centre-backs at that level in the game. He's got a huge future ahead of him. At times, he was genuinely starting for Liverpool, out of merit. It wasn't just because of injuries and things like that. He was good enough, which is mind-blowing, really. But now, one of the most exciting ones, Mainu. This guy, I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was this good. I've seen him play for United. I saw him in the FA Cup and in the Premier League a few times and just thought, wow, yeah, he's quite something. But going into the Euros, I didn't think he would get into the team. I knew that he would potentially get a few minutes if he would come off the bench, maybe, but he's now one of the first names on the team sheet for England at the Euros. I mean, it's... wow, United have themselves an absolute baller, and he should look for a bigger move soon. Mainu, 62 rated. He's going to be at least 76, 77, 78. I think some people argue he can be even higher than that, and I wouldn't argue against it. I think anything over 80 would be a bit extreme because he hasn't done this even for a full year yet. But if he continues, because his career is literally this right now. But I will say this, United fans, I'm really sorry, but you're not the club you used to be anymore. I do see Mainu doing this eventually because he needs to be playing in the Champions League. He needs to be playing at the very top level week in, week out. He will get that enough for now. But when he gets to 23, 24, if United haven't really come back and they're one of the best teams in the world, then he will need to move on if he wants to realise the potential that he has. He could be one of the best, for sure. But moving on to the biggest upgrade we might see, Palmer is going to be in the low 80s for sure. 66 rated going into FC24. That is... look, at City, he looked pretty good, didn't he? But no one really knew. No one knew how good. And he's gone to Chelsea. He was their best player by a landslide, which... wasn't hard considering how bad they were last season. But then he's also doing it for England now as well. Fantastic assist for Watkins in the semi-finals. He is, without doubt, one of the most in-form and creative players from the Premier League last season. And there's a big, big reason why he deserves the biggest upgrade we're going to see. Along with Mainu, I think both of these guys, we could be seeing 15 or more upgrade. I think Palmer should be 81, 82 rated. I don't think he can be lower than that. Back to Manchester United now, technically, because as I'm recording this video, it's going to go out later today, but it seems Zirkzee is on his way to Manchester United, and I hope he gets a new picture, because that little strand of hair, oh my God, that's annoying. But Zirkzee, 73 rated, not crazy going into the new FC24 game when it came out, because, you know, it kind of failed at Bayern, and we didn't know how good he would be on loan or... previously when he was on loan or when he went to Bologna. I think he went to Anderlecht, was it? But either way, what a season at Bologna. And now he's getting that big move back to a top club. And Manchester United with Højlund as well, they've got options. I think he's going to be at least 78, 79 rated, something like that. Up next, we have another great performer from the Euros. Mikhaudazet. Why are the Georgian names so difficult? Mamadashvili, Kvaratskhelia, Mikhaudaz. I give up. He looks like he could be on his way to Monaco. Not the biggest upgrade, but definitely one worth mentioning, especially because of the Euros. I think he's going to easily get a 77, 78, something like that. Up next, we have Lunin, 74. What? He was incredible for Madrid when he stepped in, and he did a great job for them. And actually, I felt sorry that he didn't get to play the final of the Champions League. I think he deserved it, if I'm honest. I do really think so. But he's going to get a solid upgrade as well. I mean, he's the best second choice keeper in the world, maybe. I know there's others out there. You could mention Ramsdale. But Lunin definitely deserves an upgrade. Next, over to the Bundesliga. Is this our first Bundesliga player? I think it might be. Bayer, another fantastic young player that has exploded onto the scene. 70 rated. He's going to get at least a 75, 76. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see him move this summer, maybe next summer. Also, someone who has just moved. I believe he's gone to Benfica. He's gone over to Portugal. 11 goals, I think, or was it 11 assists? It's 6 and 11, I believe. Probably 6 goals, 11 assists, because he's playing down that left side. Left wing back, left mid, all of it. best. He really is the best. He will definitely get a solid upgrade. Another one in the Bundesliga, Boniface, 74 rated, easily going to get up to 78, 79, maybe even 80. He'll be one of the most, I mean, the physicality on this guy, he'll be one of the most difficult players to defend against with incredible strength. He's really good in the air. He's quite pacey as well, and I think we'll see Boniface easily hit the high 70s, low 80s. Also, again, in the Bundesliga, Joarez, he's just got his move to Dortmund, although there's been a problem with the medical, apparently. Who knows what's going on there? One of the top scorers in the Bundesliga over the last 2 seasons now. He's proved to be a very, very tidy player. He will absolutely get 3, 4, 5 ratings upgrade, especially at Dortmund if he starts to play just as well as he has been there at Stuttgart, as if he plays as well as he did at Stuttgart at Dortmund. There we go. I got it out. Another striker, Mateta, 75 rated. Would have been fine if we exclude the last 3-4 months of the season. But, I mean, he was arguably one of the best strikers in the world for a couple of weeks. Everything he did turned into goals. Maybe a bit of an exaggeration. But honestly, if he doesn't get an upgrade because of that alone, he deserves to be at least 78. 79 maybe. Really, really, really good second half of the season. Another one as well, Solanke, 75 rated in FC24 when it came out. No doubt he will be upgraded, but I don't think it's going to be anything more than 79, 80 rated or something like that. And there's the most funny quote ever. I think he said if he was playing in... Which one? Oh, I've forgotten it. It was a good few weeks, maybe months ago now, but he said he'd score 100 goals. Was it League 2 or was it... Oh, either way, he was really cocky in an interview and said that he'd bang 100 goals in one of the lower leagues. And it's like, mate, come on. Probably not. Another one in the Premier League, Branthwaite, 72 rated this time last year going into the new game. But FC25, he will be getting a huge upgrade. And I have a feeling he won't be at Everton either. Man United apparently looking around for him. I'm sure Branthwaite could... I mean... relatively speaking, could go into any club at his age, with his experience already in different leagues, and the fact that he's left-footed as well, which is still uncommon. Well, it's not uncommon, but you know what I mean. Everyone's looking for a left-footed defender, so maybe he'll get that big move, and I'm sure he's going to be almost 80 rated. I think he'll be like 78, something like that. Another one that I really want to talk about, and that is Pascal Gross. 78 rated, that is gross. There's a reason he got into the Germany squad. There's a reason he was one of the highest rated players in the Premier League last season for players outside of that top 4, top 5, top 6. Brilliant, brilliant player. He's going to get low 80s for sure. It wouldn't surprise me. 2 players left now. We have to mention Watkins. It won't be a huge upgrade, but it'll be a significant one because 80 rated for one of the best performing strikers in the world last season. And he sent us to the Euros final. He's going to be 83 rated, something like that, I expect, in the new game. And then last but not least, we have Gordon, 75 rated. Whether it's at Liverpool, those are the rumours right now, or if it's still at Newcastle, we're going to see an upgrade. I think, without doubt, Gordon should be 79, 80, maybe even 81 rated. But like I said, make sure you get your comments down below. Even if you only want to tell me a few of your opinions, I'd be very interested. But let's see what happens going into the new game. Are these players and more that I've potentially missed going to get huge deserved upgrades? In the next video, we'll talk about downgrades, which I think is going to be a bit more tricky, actually.